everybody, and welcome back once again to the Don't Shoot Disc Golf show. This time, not a podcast, and we are here supporting the hashtag Respect Her Game campaign, and I am here with Rachel Turton. Hi, Rachel.
Hi, how are you? How are you?
I'm really good. How are you? Thanks for coming on the show.
Amazing, yeah. Thanks for inviting me.
Cool. So, a newer face to the UK disc golf scene. So, for all of our viewers who haven't had the pleasure of meeting you yet, and for me to find out a little bit more, would you be able to give us a little bit of an introduction to who you are?
Of course, yeah. So, hi, my name is Rachel Turton, and I live in St Andrews in Scotland. I recently began playing disc golf, just when lockdown started, really. My background is in Ultimate, where I've played for about 7 years. I've represented GB multiple times at world and European level. I played semi-professionally as well, and I'm excited to see how far I can go in disc golf too.
Amazing. So, so how did you get into Ultimate originally? Was that a university thing?
Mainly, yeah. I played a couple of times in school, and we tossed a disc around, weren't many rules, and it was really fun. And then when I went to university, found an organised club and just began playing Ultimate there. And I've loved throwing a disc around ever since.
Brilliant. Yeah, it's such a great path into disc golf, I think, being able to come from Ultimate, already having some of the throwing mechanics. But I've spoken to quite a few Ultimate players. So many people have joined disc golf since lockdown, and something everyone says is it's much harder than they think to convert between the two. How have you been finding that?
Definitely, yeah. I've spent many hours throwing discs around already, but adjusting to disc golf discs from Ultra Stars was a little bit different. The mechanics are slightly different, but obviously having trained for so many hours already, it wasn't too much of an adjustment, and now it's good. It's okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, certainly looking at your first few tournament results, it's obvious that you've made the adjustment quite cleanly. So you have to remind me of the specifics, but you've shot a few rounds over 900 rated already, correct?
Yeah, that is correct, yeah. So I played 3 tournaments now. The second 2 were PDGA sanctioned, so they've been recorded, which is great. And yeah, I've had 3 rounds that are over 900 so far, and I just hope to see how far I can go.
Yeah, it's spectacular. So I think you'll be the highest rated player in the UK already, based on your first rating, which should be coming out next week, I believe. So so it'll be really exciting to see how that goes.
Yeah, I've had one, I've been rated once so far by the PDGA, and that's at 884 at the minute, so got another couple of tournaments coming up, so we'll see what happens to the rating the next time, yeah.
Fantastic, yeah, really good. It's going to be interesting to see, and it's going to be really nice to have a few more women playing in the UK. Something that we've been lacking slightly so far in my time in disc golf. So I've been playing for 3 years, and it always shocks me that there's so few women playing, and I think one of the things that they're trying to get to the bottom of in this Respect Her Game campaign is some of the reasons why they think that might be. Because sports like Ultimate have a really great female participation. I think it's even over 50-50, or at least it was on some stats I saw. So I'm really interested in your perspective. Why do you think not so many females have picked up Ultimate so far? Picked up disc golf.
Yeah, so Ultimate I think is approaching 50-50, and they've really put a lot of work in over the past couple of years to have gender equity discussions, to talk about it, to think about reasons why there may be barriers to participation for female players, and to work to try and remove them. And I think that disc golf is catching up with that and starting to learn that this is something that we should be focused on, or we can do better at. So yeah, I'm really excited to start to work together with people to help learn which barriers are important to women and which we can help to break down, and how we can support players to get to tournaments and play more rounds and things like that. So one of the things that I've done personally is start up a league day here in St Andrews. We have a 9 basket course which we've turned into an 18-hole one, and yeah, we've put an FA4 division in and encouraged as many women from the university and wider as possible to just come and join in, just come and throw a few frisbees around and just have a go and try it out and see what you think. For the league day, it's a nominal cost for the men, but for the women we remove the price to just try and break down another barrier that may be preventing them from wanting to play any sport.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Yeah,
I think that's something that we can definitely start to introduce in other places as well.
Yeah, I definitely think that's something we'd like to look at doing in the other places around the country. I'll definitely suggest that to the Manchester league team. Our league is free for everyone at the moment, but we might be running another one that has prizes, so I might suggest that idea. I think that's a good idea. So, in your experiences of picking up disc golf, were there any issues specifically related to being a woman that you felt held you back in getting into the sport?
So far, probably only the lack of toilets at venues, and that's something that's exacerbated with COVID. There aren't as many cafes and things open. Often the cafes in the park are the ones that struggle the most, and so facilities might be closed at the minute. It's something that maybe tournament organisers haven't had to think about as much. It's a lot easier for men to be able to go to the toilet in a public place than it is for a woman. And so maybe it's just things that people haven't considered so far, but things that could be barriers to women, such as that, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's super important, and it's something that a lot of disc golf courses in the UK aren't at a place where there are public toilets, for example. And it's something that I think as the tournament scene keeps picking up, with a recent uptick in sign-ups, we've had tournaments selling out much faster than they ever have historically. I think there might be a little bit more money in the game, and you can afford that rent-a-charge for a Portaloo or equivalent to get that out to the course, and I think that'll really help with, even though the facilities won't be the nicest, they'll at least exist, which is better than nothing.
Yeah, it is so exciting to see the increase in participation. That's something that's shot up over lockdown, and yeah, that is really exciting. Even things as simple as noting down where the nearest toilet facilities could be in the player pack, so we have an idea of how long it'll take to get off the course and reach them. And
Yeah, I think that
better plan our days. Even just simple things such as that.
that's a really good point, and I'll make sure to pass that on to some of the TDs here in the UK as well. So, as an aspiring future tournament director myself, I actually passed my PDGA tournament sanctioning again today for the third time, I think, that I actually got around to paying for it this time. But
Nice.
so, as an aspiring tournament director in the future, what would you suggest? Some other things that male tournament directors specifically may not have thought of to encourage more women into the tournament.
Yeah, so I've only played in Scotland so far, and things that I've loved that the tournament directors over here have done. One of them, Seamus Scanlon, he's recently reached out to me to let me know that his recent or upcoming tournament in Bluebell Woods was filling up reasonably fast, and he was offering me a space as a conversation to say, would you like a place at the tournament before it all fills up? We would like to get more women there, and so if you're interested, let me know and I can fill in the form for you. And I thought that was such a kind gesture by him to want to include more players, and he said that the last 5 players that were accepted into the tournament were females, so they're excited to have 2 female divisions.
Wow, yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, to have even 1 female division is fantastic, but to be able to get 2 is just wonderful. And I think that I like the idea of using a model where if you build it, they will come. So stating that you're going to have a female division, and then knowing that females who are looking at your tournament wanting to come will know that, oh, there's going to be a female division, great, they're going to provide for female players. That might be something that just helps encourage players as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think it might be something that might be good to consider for tournament directors is having a select number of places which are reserved specifically for females, and then setting a time deadline where they could be opened up to the rest of the field if there were spaces, because I think it should be encouraged to have as many females in the FBO or the FA4 or the FA1 division as possible, and it would be a shame that if there were people who wanted to play who couldn't make it for specific reasons.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm. Other things such as possible barriers could be fees. I know a lot of tournament fees are kept really low, and the cost of the sport is low anyway, but reducing fees or possibly waiving the cost for females. If there's a lot of interest from the male division anyway and you're going to fill the tournament, then it's not like many tournaments will be short of cash, and so having a small women's division where the fee is reduced could be possible, but it's something that obviously will depend from tournament to tournament.
Yeah.
Offering incentives for male players to bring along a female friend, even if they haven't played before, being able to rent discs just at the start of the tournament, which might be more difficult with lockdown and with COVID. But just making it more accessible for new female players to be able to join in as well.
Yeah, I agree. And something that is written on the Respect Her Game website, so if you can go to respecthergame.org, then you can read a big list of all these really great ideas of ways to be more inclusive. And so there's 2 things I wanted to address with that. The first thing that I saw they recommended was players packs, specifically having lighter discs and more female-friendly discs as an option in a player pack would be something that would be appreciated. And I know that's something that Ollie Simonson does really well at, with the tournaments that he runs. So the Wembley Open that's just recently sold out, and one that I specifically remember was the Valentine's Heartbreaker last year, which their players pack disc was a Latitude Jade, which is one of their sort of friendly for everyone discs. So that's something I think's been done so far really well, but could be expanded on by other players and other tournaments. And the other thing I wanted to address was they have a specific section on that for media, which me running a podcast really, really exciting and really useful. And one of the things that they said in that was that giving equal coverage or even more coverage to the FPO side of the sport is important. And I know that's something I've previously been guilty of on my show. I'll do oh my goodness, I've only got 5 minutes left. Better do the quick rundown of the PDGA event that was last week in Jonesboro or whatever, and I'll only do the MPO side. I will forget to mention the female side, simply because that's what I'm personally more interested in watching. But I should remember that my audience would be more interested in watching, maybe members of my audience more interested in watching FPO, so I should give parity coverage to both, and that's something I'm going to work on in the future.
Great, yeah, fantastic. And it's great that you can recognise things in yourself that you could improve and you'd like to improve in the future. And that's definitely the first steps working towards gender equity. I think that's great that you're recognising it.
Yeah, I think that's something that we can all do in our own game, in our own lives, to be honest. I've seen many comments on specific mostly US-centric Facebook feeds on today's campaign saying, oh, I don't think there is an issue, which is a bit short-sighted, really, because if there wasn't an issue, no one would be doing this. So I think everyone should go away and consider, is there anything I could do to include women more? Is there anything I could do to include people of different ethnicities or genders or anything more? And if the answer is no, then great, but at least you've thought about it.
Definitely, yeah. Mm-hmm. And not everybody experiences the same issues, and both genders don't necessarily experience issues the same way. So even if it's not, you haven't considered it because you haven't experienced it, you can speak to other people and ask for their experiences, and ask female players if there's anything at your tournament that could help them to play and help them to bring other people to play. So I think that's really important.
Yeah, I completely agree. So we're approaching the end of this little segment we're doing, so thanks for watching if you're still here, and appreciate it. Rachel, is there anything else you'd like to discuss while we're here?
And no, just go and support the Respect Her Game campaign and encourage more women to play. You know, I'm sure that all the male players have friends and family that probably would like to come out on the course. So yeah, encourage people and just keep on playing. Yeah,
there's one more thing I wanted to mention, which is there's a charity for women's disc golf called Throw Pink, and at this year's USDGC, they can't do their in-person fundraisers they normally would be doing. So there's an online version of their Chains for Charity campaign. I'll put a link in the description of this video if you want to check it out. Chains for Charity, basically you pick a player, either MPO playing their USDGC or FPO playing the Women's National Championships. Every birdie they get, you get 1 point. And for every point you pay a certain amount of donations to charity, and then there's prizes you can win, and it's a really great way to raise money. Don't Shoot Disc Golf are supporting Tristan Tanner in this quest, with the absence of any of the MPO players. I probably should have picked an FPO player, to be honest. And maybe I'll do that as well. But there's me not thinking parity again. But yeah, we're supporting friend of the show, Tristan Tanner, in this. And so we'll be donating $1 for every birdie Tristan Tanner gets throughout the USDGC. So, and that money will go to Edge Disc Golf Foundation, which is a children's charity, and Throw Pink, which is a women's charity. So that's something I'm going to be doing, and something that you guys should consider doing as well. There'll be a link in the description. And thanks for watching, and thanks for coming on, Rachel.
Thanks for having me on, Harry. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. See you later.